Think about the last time someone's name came up in a conversation they weren't part of. Maybe at lunch. Maybe in a group chat. Maybe you said something true. Maybe even fair. But here is what nobody ever told you. The moment you spoke, the room stopped judging that person. They started judging you, and they never said a word about it. That silence is exactly what destroyed Roman. Roman was 22, fresh out of university, sharp, funny, the kind of guy people genuinely liked being around. He had just started an internship at a consultancy in a new city. New faces, new pressure, new chance to prove himself. And he was good. His work was solid. His manager noticed it early. But Roman had a habit. Not a cruel one, just casual. He talked about people. A colleague who was clearly struggling. A manager he thought was clueless. A classmate who had landed the same internship but, in Roman's opinion, had no business being there. He said these things at lunch, in messages, at after-work drinks. People laughed. They nodded. They engaged. He thought he was connecting with people. He had no idea he was spending the one currency that, once gone, almost never comes back. 6 months in, his supervisor called him in. She said his work was genuinely impressive, that a full-time role had opened up, that he had real potential. And then she said, "We've had some concerns from the team. Nothing specific, just a general feeling about trust." He nodded, walked out, sat in his car for 20 minutes without moving. Nothing specific, just a feeling. He knew exactly what it was. That evening, he called his uncle, a man who had built a business from nothing over 30 years. The kind of quiet, respected presence Roman had always admired but never fully understood until now. Roman told him everything. His uncle listened. Then he asked one question. "When you talked about your colleagues, what were you actually doing?" Roman didn't have an answer. "You were not telling the room about them," his uncle said. "You were telling the room about you. What you notice in people. What you do with information. Whether you are someone safe to trust with anything that matters. Every word you said about someone who wasn't there, that was not a verdict on them. That was a verdict on yourself." Here is what the research confirms. And this is the part most people never hear. Studies on social trust show that when someone speaks negatively about an absent person, listeners do not update their opinion of the person being discussed. 74% of the time, they update their opinion of the speaker, downward, within just a few conversations. And here is the brutal part. They never tell you. They just quietly reclassify you from someone worth trusting to someone worth managing. The warmth stays on the surface, but the real access disappears. That is what happened to Roman. Not because his work failed, his work was excellent, but because for 6 months, every room he entered, he told people exactly who he was, through the way he spoke about people who weren't there to defend themselves. Roman didn't get that role, but he made one decision. Before saying anything about someone not in the room, he would ask himself one question. Does this build anything? Not, is it true? Not, is it fair? Just, does it build anything? If the answer was no, he said nothing. The first weeks were strange. He realized how much space that habit had taken up. Without it, he had to be actually present, actually curious, actually interested in the person in front of him. By the second month, a colleague pulled him aside. "I don't know what changed," she said, "but lately I feel like I can actually talk to you." People started calling him steady, mature, trustworthy. One referral came through from someone he barely knew because, as that person said, Roman never says a bad word about anyone. I'd trust him with my network. He hadn't become more talented. He hadn't become more experienced. He had simply become safe. And in a world full of noise, safe people are extraordinarily rare. Here is what I want to leave you with. The most respected people in any room, the ones others genuinely fight to be close to, share one quality that almost never gets discussed. They do not traffic in other people's flaws. Not because they are naive, but because they understand that their words about others are not a reflection of those people. They are a reflection of themselves. Your reputation is not built in the moments people see you. It is built in the moments they hear you talk about people they can't see. Roman learned that at 22. Some people never learn it at all. The question is, which one are you?